picking up where I left off, I had to stop in the middle of the video last time because my phone battery just completely drained to nothing. So basically, yeah, I didn't have any fucking control over my life. So that created a whole lot of fear because, like, I was not prepared. And I knew that. I knew I wasn't ready for the rest of the fucking world. And I'm like, really, like, I'm about to be thrown out with nothing. With really fucking nothing. Like, no preparation, no real experience, no guidance whatsoever. And that's pretty much what happened. And that was like the biggest part of my fear growing up because it's just like I got thrown into the fucking world knowing that something was fundamentally wrong with me. Not being able to figure out exactly what, nor get help from the people who were supposed to be helping me at the time. And then I'm just expected to do life. Okay. I wasn't taught a damn thing that I can really remember that would actually have been useful. I feel like other people around me got more advice than I did, even directly from my mother. And it was just like, I knew I wasn't set up right. I knew. And that was one of my biggest fears. Because it's just like, well, I'm going to have to, like, go and be an adult, and I have nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And that's what I did. Fucking went out, was an adult, with no real training on exactly how to do the adult stuff. With all the freaking trauma on top of all of that. And the world is a really scary place when you don't have a real support system. Because my support system really consisted of, well, if you just stayed here and did what I told you to do, then you would be set. And I just didn't see the logic in that because it's just like, if I was really, like, if I stayed there and kept doing what everybody else told me to do, I would never do anything that I wanted to do. And it took me damn near my whole fucking life to even start doing any of the things that I wanted to do. Because I was always surrounded by people that as soon as, you know, like I would establish connections and relationships with people. And as soon as I would just be like, okay, we're good, you know, we have an understanding here. Now I'm gonna need some time to just like kind of get my own shit going. So, you know, because I've been supporting you for a while, so it's my turn to get my own shit. And I wasn't even expecting any real support from them, just like their presence, I guess. And even that, I was just like, I just need to focus on my own stuff right now. And then as soon as I would do that, then they would try to sabotage it in some way, shape, or form, not be supportive, or whatever the case was. Just like, it's only okay so long as I am benefiting the other person. And then when I try to do for myself what I've done for them, then, you know, that's when arguments start, problems happen, and, you know, why can't you just bend to my fucking will? Because that's what I expect everybody around me to do, is everything that I fucking say without question. And it was just like, well, the whole point, like, you became friends with me or whatever with me because you liked the fact that I could think for myself and that I didn't just, you know, go along with whatever everybody else said. Or even if I did, I would just do that because I didn't have the fucking energy to deal with it, but not because I actually believed it. But now it's a problem that I am my own person. You wanted me because I was my own person, but now I am my own person to you, and it's a problem. But anyways, yeah, that was fucking insane. But I had a lot of freaking imagery coming up while I was talking about this, because one of the things that like popped up is like some of the artists like have been playing in my head that I used to listen to as a teenager that literally kept me alive. And that was like, and that's how I knew like the inner freaking teenager was like coming out to play, because it's just like, yeah, we've been suffering at the hands of many for too long, and there's still that anger there, but I am not as bad as I was before. Like, it still pisses me off, and I still want nothing to do with any of those fucking people, but I am not on the verge of boiling over because we have addressed where it came from. But the anger did help. Like, so, like, anger is not necessarily bad, because it did help me just like get over it, like get over the fear that I had when I was, especially like in the dreams where I was running from things, even if I couldn't fully integrate what it was that I was running from. And then the other things, I just talked to. And some of the stuff you have to fight. It's just one of those things. Like, there's a whole bunch of different scenarios that you have to address sometimes when dealing with not only trauma, but like spirit world stuff and dream world stuff and all of that stuff. And it's very individualistic. And that's what I really learned throughout all that time, because some of the stuff you have to fight. Some of the stuff you just have to talk to, and some of the stuff you have to reabsorb into you, because it's just pieces of you that were the real you that you just kind of shed in order to fit into somebody else's fucking mold. And one of the fucking songs that I remembered was Lose Yourself, that came up by Eminem. And it reminded me of, what was it? It was something, there was a freaking quote talking about like being consumed in the moment, in flow, like focused on the present. And it was a very specific word, and it made me think that, but it went along with like the song Lose Yourself. And because he says you have to lose yourself in the music, the moment, right here in the now. And there was a quote that kind of went along with it that I can't fucking remember for the life of me now. And it was leading back to that sound, or that song. And the inner teenager kind of was like working it out with me, talking about how it's not necessarily about like always like being in the present moment in the way that you are now, but being in the present moment as your future self. Like, you have to, it's not necessarily you doing steps to become that person, but you just losing yourself in your work and getting so deep into it that you forget who you are in the first place, or who you thought you were, and you end up becoming that person. And so, yeah, that was the that was the message of all of it. Losing yourself in your work to the point where you become the person that you've always wanted to be, because you forget that you couldn't do it before, or who you were supposed to be before. Anyway, that's it.